Aguayo and Butler for this week's press conference. We just finished up a 10-game homestand where we won all 10. Looking forward to traveling to College Station to take on Texas A&M and then hosting Texas Southern this weekend. Jerry, if you want to, or Coach, do you want to start with the opening statement?
Yeah, it was a good week for us. We got really good starting pitching from our guys, and we limited the free pass both on the bases and on the mound. So we were really happy about that. We battled some adversity, and it was good for our guys to fight back.
Jerry, you got anything for us?
Yeah, Coach Guile, just wanted to get you to maybe elaborate a little bit on just the idea of, you guys had a tough start to the season, but now you returned home and you were able to string together 10 straight wins. Can you just talk about the resilience that your guys have showed in overcoming that tough start?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have some young guys in the lineup, and there was some tension, and it kind of showed the first week. But you get back home, you relax a little bit, and they realize, and we realize that, hey, this is baseball. We've done it before, and kind of just get back to playing our game, and we've done that. So proud of them, and just need to keep going.
Go ahead, Rylan.
Before the season, Coach Hallmark has said that the early part of the season would be kind of figuring out the team's roster, figuring out just how good the team is. Do you feel like you feel comfortable with your team? Do you feel like you know how good you are right about now?
Yeah, they've certainly shown signs of being good baseball players, right? So yeah, I think it's a steady mix. We have some options and some guys who are producing, so it's a good problem to have. But yeah, it's a long season, and that was a long stretch we just went through, and our guys have produced pretty well.
Jerry?
Yeah, Coach Butler, I just wanted to ask about the A&M game tomorrow and just how you think you guys might line up with your pitching.
Yeah, we're still trying to, as we're going through film, as we're watching their guys hit and evaluate what their weaknesses and strengths are, we're still trying to figure out exactly what the best matchups are. So we're, discussing that. We'll discuss it with coaches again later on today, and we'll come to a conclusion later on.
What do y'all think about the Aggies? And they obviously are loaded this year, number one preseason, and through the first few weeks, I guess they've dropped a few games in a row. How do y'all feel about going over there and playing against a talented team like that is maybe a little wounded right now?
I'll answer that question. We're excited. We're excited just again to get out there and play baseball. Really, our guys enjoy competition. Our guys enjoy going on the road, and it's something that we need to get better at. Obviously, having those 3 losses on the road, our guys need to figure out how to do that. And it's going to be a good test and challenge for us. And I think that they're excited and hungry to do it.
Ryan, what do you remember about last year's game over there?
Well, we lost, number one, Jerry, and we got walked off, and we played well. They had a guy, Cortez, I believe, and he came in the game, and he was really, really good, and he beat us that day. But we'll be ready. They're obviously super talented. We're up for the challenge, and like Coach said, we love going into that hostile environment and see what our guys can do.
Are you anxious to see how your hitting shows up tomorrow? I mean, after scoring so many runs over the last 10 games, are you anxious to see how they'll compete against the higher level pitching?
Yeah. We've had our challenges, and we've hit good over the past, 10 games, obviously, and so yeah, it'll be a new challenge going into Aggie land, and they're obviously super talented. So we're prepping for them right now, and again, looking forward to the challenge. So hopefully our guys, love the competition, and so far they have.
Go ahead, Rylan.
Just kind of wanted to touch on the status of Ty Odom. He's a big part of your outfield, and just kind of wondering what his injury is looking like, if there's a timetable for him to return at any point in the season.
Yeah, we'll have to update you later on that, Rylan, at a later date.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, Ryan, wanted to ask about the other Ty, Ty Hodge. Were you all expecting him to hit like this so early?
Yeah. To be honest with you, we knew when we recruited him, we knew he had some talent, right? So we thought and figured there might be maybe some mechanical adjustments that needed to be made during his time, previously, and yeah, we knew that if he can just do a couple things in the batter's box, that offensively he should be able to produce. So. And he's done that. He's worked tremendously hard. He got to us in the fall, and from day one, just immediately started working on it. So, and he continues to work. So it's no surprise. He's got to continue those adjustments, and hopefully keep the production.
Did y'all get the commitments from both those brothers simultaneously, or did you one before the other, or how did that happen?
Simultaneously, yeah. It's the transfer portal, Jerry. Ty was already at Houston Christian, and Nate was going there. So as soon as they had a change, we jumped on it. So they were good ball players. We didn't see Ty too much out of high school. He was committed to A&M, but we saw Nate a lot. So yeah, we knew the talent that Ty had, and we knew Nate was a really good ball player.
Go for it, Rylan.
Yeah, I was just wondering if either of y'all could talk a little bit about Rob. Rob has developed tremendously since we first saw him against UT Arlington, now kind of transitioning into that role that Ruger played. Can you talk a little bit about his development and the confidence you guys showed at him? He was the starting pitcher last season in the opener. Can you just talk a little bit about Rob?
Yeah, Rob's he had to make a couple adjustments from the first couple outings that he had. He got hit a little bit, and so we've made some mechanical adjustments, and one thing that Rob does is he always works. He's very talented, and he is smart, and he throws a bunch of strikes. And so at the end of the day, with him throwing a bunch of strikes, that's always going to give you a chance to win. We just needed to help get him to swing and miss stuff a little bit more, and he's got the stuff to do it. And so he's worked on some things, and hopefully he can stay consistent and stay with those adjustments.
Coach, could you talk a little bit about Royce's production? I know they haven't really shown in the win-loss category, but starting on Friday night is, never hard. You're usually facing their number one guy. So kind of just talk about his production.
Yeah, he's been great for us. He's been very mature right now is the best way that I can explain it. He's dealt with some adversity. Some things happen that don't necessarily go right in game, even though he's continuing to throw strikes and he's continuing to give guys weak contact. And so he's done a great job with just handling adversity in game, in moments, and making his best pitches in those moments. And so that's really good to see from Zach, because there were some, obviously going into the season, some question marks, and just seeing if he can continue to do what he's doing right now. Again, consistency. So.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Hey, Ryan, I wanted to ask about Drew Detlefson, and I'm sorry I was not able to get over to see any games last weekend. I was kind of up to my eyeballs in basketball coverage Saturday and Sunday. But I noticed that Detlefson broke out with some long balls, and just wanted to see if you could fill me in a little bit on the background about what he was all about as a high school player and junior college player, and just kind of the Drew Detlefson before he arrived at UTSA, what he was all about.
Yeah, he's had a good week, and he's like Coach said, he's been consistent, just to use that word. But yeah, I saw Drew. Over the summer we were recruiting, and we needed to replace our offense a little bit, and jumping on the phone and just calling around. I knew a connection pretty well, and I called his coach at Dodge City, and I said, hey, what's up with this kid? He's playing summer ball out here in Texas, and I saw the stats at Dodge, and they were really good. we needed an outfielder. And so, anyways, I go up to see him, and his first at bat or second at bat, he hits a homer, and that's kind of exactly what we needed. So, it doesn't always happen that way, Jerry, but it worked out for that time, and it's worked out for us right now. So, he produced in junior college, produced in the summer, and had a good fall for us. And so he's been good for us so far. And he's worked tremendously hard in the outfield, which, gets overlooked. But right now, in the fall, it was iffy, right? His outfield play, but he worked. And so he's been reliable out there for us too, not only with the bat, but defensively as well.
We're on a 10-game win streak, especially at home. Can you just talk a little bit about the importance of winning at home?
I think it's huge, right? There's just a sense of, I don't know, coming back from UTA, we needed some relaxation, some calmness to us. And so coming back home, that's really helped. And so I think that's what our guys feel a little bit. There's, it's our home field. We know how it plays. We know how the ball is. We know the way the ball bounces, especially in the infield. So there's just little things that our guys have, again, just become calm and they're confident at home. So it's extremely important. And we've had a good stretch so far.
Coach Butler, Connor Miles has definitely been productive for us this year. Can you just talk about really how impactful he is on that Sunday starts?
He's been reliable. He's kind of the guy that we recruited and had expectations for last year. And again, same thing as Royce, is just maturity and growth. He's healthy and he's very confident right now and very focused and driven, narrow-minded, if you will. And been very good for us. Been able to, mix his pitches up, got a good fastball, and does a good job. And it's very relaxing as a coach when you kind of have an idea of what you're going to get out of those guys.
All righty. Well, thank y'all for joining. Have a nice day.
Appreciate it,
Thanks,
Jerry.
Kate. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks.